Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day, as y'all can tell. Anytime that y'all see something with 5 years, 3 years, anytime I put years in the title, that means that it's an anniversary of something very special in my life, and today I want to share it with you guys. So let's get right into it. So June is a very sentimental month for me, I should say, because it's Scoliosis Awareness Month, and I also had scoliosis surgery in the month of June, back in 2019. So this month is my spine anniversary. Today is something special, which we're gonna talk about, and then my poppy's birthday, my pop my grandfather's birthday, and then the anniversary of my grandmother's death is also this month, because my surgery and my grandmother's passing happened back to back. And then we've got Father's Day, so there's a whole lot of different things going on this month. Pretty busy summer, but yeah, it's gonna be super fun, and it's already been an incredible first week and a few days of summer break, and I am definitely enjoying it. So 5 years ago today, I became a pastor's kid. Yes, a PK. Shout out to all of the PKs. Listen, isn't that crazy? Like, I've been a PK my entire life. When I was born, my dad was a youth pastor. And then when I was like 10 in 2016, he became the assistant pastor for my grandfather. And then my dad was ordained as a senior lead pastor for real 5 years ago today. So I've always been a PK, but it never became official until 5 years ago today. So what a ride that it has been since day one. Not only just for my dad, you know, of course, it's him being a pastor, but for me as well. Because when you become a PK, it's a very weird experience, you know, because for me, I've always been a church kid. I've always loved church, you know, and so that's my thing. Church is always going to be a part of my life. But when you become a PK, your whole view of church really just becomes different. Like, everything is different. You get to see behind the scenes things and be a part of things that you necessarily wouldn't have been a part of if you were just, you know, church kid, you know, if I'm saying. You know, but it's also great because church life has really prepared me for the real world. Everything for me started in church. Like, the same situations that I deal with, like at school with people, like especially this freshman year, is some of the same situations that has happened to me in church, you know, and it's what I experience on a daily basis, you know, just dealing with people in general. So you know, people show you their true colors, and it gets really interesting. But yeah, I've really thought about the past 5 years as a PK. It definitely has not been easy, especially when church is the very thing that runs my family's life, it feels like sometimes, because it's my parents' full-time job, and it's also the calling of God on their lives. So it's like you can't really change anything, even though it's not always what you want to do. You know, I didn't sign up for any of this. The struggles and the tears behind closed doors of the heavy weight that it is to be a part of this kind of family and legacy. But being a PK has taught me to surrender, sacrifice, and serve. And it's a journey that I've contemplated, you know, walking out on several times, often, and just stepping back, you know, still being a PK, of course, but, you know, just stepping back from a lot of things. But I love church and I love God, and I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't have the kind of heart for ministry that I do have, and in the ways that I serve at church. But, you know, even though there are many struggles to it, I am very glad that in some ways I am a PK. Many of my subscribers, many of y'all are PKs. And so I love being that one example that y'all can look up to. And I find that special that I can be there for you guys, especially because I don't really have that, you know, like personally, like all of the PK people that I know are people that I follow on social media. So like, That's it for me. Like, for instance, my favorite worship leader is a PK. She grew up as a pastor's kid, and we have very similar experiences in our lives, which is when I became a PK, that was the example that I leaned on the most, and I still do, and I'm good with that. But it's like, I need a PK my age, so I'm glad that y'all look up to me, because I'm still trying to figure out being a PK myself, and it's been 5 years and I've already learned so much. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's so much more to learn from this experience. What I've learned about being a PK in the past 5 years is that church isn't always fun. Growing up as a church kid, church was the place to be, man. If I wasn't at the grandparents' house, if I wasn't at school, if I wasn't at home, if I was on vacation, the next best choice was church. Okay, it was either there for office hours, there for praise team practice, there for choir practice. I mean, I was there like all the time throughout the week. So, of course, before COVID and stuff like that. So church was always that place where I wanted to be. And now as a PK, you don't come to have fun. If you're one of those PKs who you're called to ministry and you serve in ministry, church is not always fun. Listen, especially when you're put on to do things that, you don't really necessarily want to do, or it's not your delegation to do, but you have to do it. Number 2, I have learned, boy, have I learned in the past 5 years of being a PK that ministry is messy. Woo! Ministry is messy, y'all. Because people get offended and they want to be seen and have this big platform. Like, they prefer to use church as their platform versus getting their heart posture right. And people just really, they be showing their true colors in church. And it's just very interesting. So yeah, those are the things that I've learned. And I've also learned as a PK just about myself in general, and what I need in my life. Because when you are considered the first family, which is, the family of the senior pastor, you are on duty all the time. I feel like the only time I've ever really sat down and took a break from doing church duties and being a PK was when I had surgery. Like, that was the only time to have fun and chill out. And then when I felt good again, and when people saw me on my grind, it was back to needing me again. So yeah, it's definitely taught me that I have a good work ethic. And so, yeah, but even though it is difficult, I will say that it has been a amazing 5 years of my life in this journey, and just, yeah, so it's mixed, it's in between. But yeah, I will say that being a PK is a beautiful monstrosity at the same time. It's so weird. I can't explain it, but if you're a PK, you understand the ups and downs and everything that goes into it, the sacrifices that you make, spending less time with your parents and, enabling them to do more, have more time in ministry and just different things like that. So I am very grateful for these past 5 years. Definitely have learned a lot. I cannot believe that next month in July 24th to be exact, will be 6 years in ministry for me. And I am so excited about it. I cannot wait. I am looking forward to that day. And I'm definitely going to be doing a video on that day for you guys to just kind of share the past 6 years of ministry and just go down some of the different things that have gone on and share some very, very, very beautiful moments and just very sentimental moments that have made these past 6 years of ministry absolutely incredible. So I love you all so much. Happy 5 years to me of being ZK to PK. I have loved it. Sometimes I've hated it, but hey, I am living for God and we're doing this for God, and that's what matters. So love y'all. Have a great day.